We're just discussing some of the weird things that Catholics believe.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we got to segue this. You know who else is a pedophile? Speaking of pedophiles,
all these Catholic priests.
all these Catholic priests.
Yeah.
But
And that's why all these perverts and sodomites they try to throw back at us because we're Christians, and then they want to say all about all these do you rebuke the priests and pastors that abuse children the same way?
Yeah, we do.
Perverts? Like, I told them, we do.
This is gross. Sorry, some nasty picture came up. Well, here's the thing: is just like, what about all those priests? I'm like, well, you mean what about the priests that are molesting children?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what sodomites do?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, okay, but what's the sexuality of those priests? It's like they're
Exactly.
obviously pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually reinforcing what we teach and what we believe, right?
Yeah.
But, obviously that's a major epidemic within the Catholic Church. But in general, they just teach a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously we want to make it very clear. We love Catholics,
Yeah.
those in the Catholic Church, not the leadership.
Yeah.
Talking about those who attend, because a lot of them are just ignorant about these things.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Catholic Church emphasizes the importance of reading the Bible or anything like that. And some of them are there because out of tradition,
Yeah.
because their ancestors were Catholics or whatever it may be. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So they're Catholic because culturally that's what they've always been.
Yeah.
It's kind of attached to their families. It's attached to their culture. So it's part of their cultural identity is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we love Catholics, and I get Catholics saved all the time. Like they're very receptive.
Yeah. Very receptive.
They believe in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good that the Catholic Church doesn't try to promote their Bible to the Catholics and try to get them to read it, because it kind of leaves them with a clean slate, in the sense of they just say they believe the Bible. And so when we talk to them about the Bible, they're assuming what we're giving them is probably what they would get at the Catholic Church. The difference is the Catholic priest is not telling them these things.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So they believe in the Bible. They believe in Jesus Christ. They believe in the Trinity.
Yeah.
It's just they are not saved.
Right.
They think they need to do works for salvation. And so Catholics are not Christian by any stretch of the imagination. They're not saved. They're not Christian. And unfortunately, anytime they take a poll in America and they talk about Christians,
They'll lump the Catholics.
they'll lump
with it.
Catholics,
Mhm.
even Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons with Christians. But obviously they're not Christians. But they can get saved.
Yeah.
Whereas the Mormons are hard to get saved.
Oh yeah.
I've only won one Mormon to Christ in my entire Christian life. In the 16 years that I've been saved,
Mm-hmm.
I've only won one to the Lord, and that person was like extremely backslidden from the Mormon church.
Yeah.
And so I was able to and you got a Mormon saved.
Yeah. Ex-Mormon.
Ex-Mormon.
As well. Yeah.
Ex-Mormon.
Yeah.
They came to our church. They found us on Shorts.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got saved, and did he get baptized?
He did get baptized.
He got baptized as
Yep.
well. Jehovah's Witnesses, I mean, just
A little
almost
bit
as
better than.
Yeah,
a little bit better.
maybe a
than
little bit better than
Mormons.
Mormons, but still just as hard to win sometimes.
Yeah.
I think out of all those groups, I think the Catholics are the easiest to win.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what do you think? What in your
No, yeah.
experience?
I agree. Catholics, the most people that I've gotten saved have been Catholics. So even more than even the liberal evangelical Christians and stuff. It's mostly
those
Catholics.
guys are really hard to win.
It depends. It's like a 50-50 because sometimes they're willing to listen, but then sometimes
They're
they
so
think,
self-righteous.
Yeah, they think they're saved and they're really prideful.
We be Abraham seen will never bondage to any man. That's like
Yeah.
that's like the non-denom
Yep.
Christians or whatever. In my opinion, sometimes they are the hardest to win only because they think that they're saved.
Yeah. Yeah.
They become very self-righteous. But I'm sure, obviously, I've met non-denom people that are receptive to the gospel.
Yeah.
And
It depends on for them. It's like how far down the Pentecostal trail have they gone down? Because when you meet the really staunch Pentecostal, those are really hard to get saved.
are you saying that? Oh,
'Cause
because
the
non-denoms are kind of
non-denoms-
they kind of like delve into that realm. Right
Yeah,
there,
they could
right?
be between like a Reformed view, like either Calvinist or maybe Baptist, or
which is
something.
what you have with the whole Lonnie Frisbee,
Yeah,
Calvary Chapel, and Greg Laurie.
yeah, exactly.
Because they're all kind of like non-denoms, but
Mhm.
Lonnie Frisbee essentially was a charismatic. I mean,
Right.
he was all about deliverance ministries, and what's the guy's name from Calvary Chapel? I forgot his name right now.
Chuck Smith.
Chuck Smith.
Smith,
Thanks for speaking into that mic there, brother. Yeah, Chuck Smith.
You're welcome.
He came out of the charismatic movement, like a very mild version of it, but he kind of rejected a lot of that, like the deliverance ministries.
Yeah.
But he was kind of semi-charismatic in certain ways, but he didn't like the whole falling on the ground and deliverance and all that. Whereas Lonnie Frisbee was majorly into that.
Yeah.
And then, obviously Greg Laurie is a little bit into that, but I don't know. You went to Greg Laurie's church. Did they do that stuff there?
Yeah. No, they were I wouldn't say that is Pentecostal there. It leans more towards just
Like conservative.
conservative. Yeah. Almost Calvinist type.
Yeah.
They didn't do tongue talking or rolling on the floor or anything wild. So but it's like you meet people there. Some are those wild Pentecostals. It's just this melting pot of different people.
Yeah. So that's why some of them are easy to win.
Yeah.
Some of them are
exactly.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. People there ignorantly, but earnestly seeking the truth in a sense.
Yeah.
And then you have those who are more sensual, devilish, having not the spirit,
Yeah.
which is exactly what the Pentecostal movement is all about, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So,
But then you have like Catholics, and Catholics can even delve into some of that Pentecostal stuff too,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I've heard of that. And the thing is with the Catholics is that essentially it's a bastardization of Christianity in the sense that, it's an amalgamation of Christianity and paganism, if you look at
Yep.
the history.
Yep.
And so a lot of their practices and their beliefs are things that they adopted from paganism.
Yeah.
Because you look at some of the stuff they believe is just like, it's very superstitious.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
a superstitious group of people. They have the icons or the idols.
That's why, like you said too, a lot of people are Catholics purely out of culture, and it's because you get a lot of these different cultures and stuff. And the Catholic Church has to, in order to stay relevant in all these cultures, they have to adopt these different paganistic type practices and stuff throughout all of history.
Yeah.
So Catholic Church, the Catholic beliefs is like this whole melting pot of.
And I don't even know if Catholics,
Paganism.
most Catholics even know some of the crazy stuff the Catholic Church teaches.
Yeah,